Hey, welcome to another edition of Control Line Craftsman. And I see that we're up and live again. I don't know who's going to be joining us. Uh, Let me move this over and we're going to try to copy the URL and we'll go to Stunt Hangar and post the video. So we want to post it where? God, I hate this part. If I had some help, it wouldn't be so boring. But we'll start the hour after I get this all up and going. It doesn't want to work well for me. New topic. Okay. CLCVIDEO. We'll see who is gonna come with us tonight. Control V, and we're gonna post it. Post. And then we'll go here. Control V, and enter. Then I can see who's talking to me, I think. Yep, there we go. All right, gonna make sure the sound's off. It is. All right, here we go. As I told you, I haven't been, I want to get this camera rolling. Okay, I got two cameras rolling now. As I told you, I haven't been working on this except for the build. I use the Brodak rod method, and it seems to work pretty good. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact. Builds a nice straight wing. Now, if you want to use the Lincoln Log jig, or you want to use whatever, it's whatever is good. You're going to have these rods clean. So first thing I'm going to do is, because there's going to be, I've been using these, and there's going to be some CA on them, and such. We're going to have to plot these ribs, but that's not what we're going to do first. We're going to get the because remember, I'm all about time management. As we're doing all this other stuff, the glue could be drying for the doublers. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get the glue going on the doublers. But we have to come back and clean this stuff too. Oh, I need to get the timer going. One hour. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is kind of separate our parts. Remember, I haven't worked on anything. And I hope you can see exactly what's going on. The stream hasn't died or whatever. It's been pretty difficult to get everything to work. So I'm going to get some wax paper out. And if you've been following along, you should have all this stuff that I have in front of me on your workbench. So I had made shims for that, and I'm going to just go ahead and CA that on the shim onto the motor mount. Because you want everything up here to fit really tight. And for some reason, I was asleep when I put this together and didn't get it tight. And I usually make good tight fits. but that's okay. We'll just shimmer up. Now remember, this is a motor mount, so you want you don't want to be stingy with the glue. We're going to lay out our ribs for cutting the alignment holes too. I don't know if I'll get to the alignment hole cutting tonight because I'm going to have to reposition the camera. Now this is a live stream version of the CLC build. If you're missing anything, I will have it on tape. It'll be uploaded in a video. So not to worry. It looks like the stream froze. But don't worry, it'll all be there. I'm running another camera. I don't know whether it's my computer or the stream or whatever, but it looks like it was pretty choppy. But I will be editing a video and uploading it. I probably won't get to it tonight, but I do have it on tape. Different angle, but on tape. So, square everything up. Now, I've been buying these 2-ounce Jello cups. And I can't really say I've been buying them. One of the girls I know who owns a bar makes Jello shots out of these, and I get them for free from her, a big pack of 100 or whatever. And we're going to try to do everything in one shot. So we want to mix enough epoxy that we get it all in one shot. So this is the outboard side, out, and in. It's about all the epoxy I got too, so I got enough to do this job, I think. But we're going to get this drying up while we're working on the rest of our wing. And the only parts that we don't have cut for this airplane are the wingtips and flaps, and we won't worry about that until we have the wing built. So I got about half ounce of 5-minute epoxy. You don't need to, especially for these little motors, you don't need to worry about hour-long epoxy and 24-hour epoxy or whatever. 5 minutes is plenty if you can work fast enough. Spread it all around, get her all spread out. The reason why I put the wax paper down is because it's always a mess with this crap. Get it all spread out, and then we're going to set the fuselage down on that. But I want to kind of scrape the epoxy away that I just put up here in the motor area, because it really doesn't need it. But that's all right. Get it positioned as close as you can. I mean, this is not rocket science. It's real simple. So we're going to fill the excess hole here. for the motor mount with epoxy. And this particular series of videos is just to show you how fast these things will go together and look good. I mean, there's absolutely no need for, you know, year-long profile builds or whatever. And the rest of the epoxy on this, ooh, it's starting to get hot. I don't know where I'm going to make it. Gotta work quick. I mixed it too hot. Yeah, I made it. Fortunately. This is only a little 25, so it's not pounding away at a PA or anything like that, so. Ooh-wee, that's getting hot. So, that's the first piece we've glued together. We're going to get some wax paper, set it on the edge of the bench, put some weight on it. It'll be fine. Yeah, what a mess. I hate epoxy. I go through a lot of wax paper. I get in a lot of trouble. But that's the way it goes. Wax paper and tinfoil. Let's tack it where it belongs. That looks good. And tack it here. So we'll set it on the edge of the bench, and I get my server weights, and we'll weight it down. So now we have one part drying while we're working on the rest of the project. And in 5 minutes, we can take that off, put it on the belt sander, zip it off, and it's ready to go. In the prior videos, I had cut the cheek cowls. And like I said, you guys that are, you know, if the video is choppy, don't worry. I'll be uploading a edited version at a later date. Probably not today. I still have to eat. This videography takes a lot out of me. So now, we're going to have to plan where we're going to drill these holes. Actually, let's do that tonight. I won't drill the holes tonight. I will plot the spars and show you how I'm going to cut the spar notches, because that might take some time. So gather all the ribs together. We're going to get some masking tape and we're going to tape them. Gather all the ribs together, stack them and line them whatever it's going to take to get them perfectly in line. I had a piece of 1/4-inch stock here somewhere that I was going to use for notching. Oh, here it is. We'll use that on the leading edge notch. And then pull the tails together. If you did the job right, they all should be exactly the same. I showed you how I did this operation. I didn't sand them to shape, and they are relatively, you know, within reason close. We're going to sand the leading edge and the 2 top notch spars in this. So, I need another piece of tape here. Remember what I said about I like my spars 3 inches back. So we're going to measure back 3 inches. It's actually 2 3/4 because you got a 1/4-inch leading edge, and we're going to notch it at that spot, and that way the leading edge sheeting or the sheeting for the center section will split. It's kind of like being a carpenter, and everything is, all the studs are 16 on center. You want to set it back so that it, you know, it's all on center. So there you have that. We're going to make a stick. I normally have a piece of spruce, but I haven't made it to the hobby shop yet. I suppose I could flatten these straight with the steel ruler. We want to just make all the edges. We're just truing it up. I want to make all the edges even. Hopefully you can see this. And we're going to make this leading. It still needs to go some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some sandpaper on this piece, even though it's not spruce or whatever, hickory or basswood. I can't remember what I used. Get a piece of tape. We're going to make a notching stick. Need to find a knife blade. Where did I do it tonight? There we go. Now when making a stick to notch with, you only want the sandpaper on one side. So my suggestion is, this is sticky back paper. My suggestion is, you see how this is hanging over? Is to stick it on so that it's hanging over approximately 1/8 of an inch, and then CA it. Because you don't want that paper coming off. So we're going to CA that paper down. Knock any of the CA off. Then I'm going to take a knife blade and trim up that edge till it's perfect with the edge of this piece of wood. Now, normally, like I say, I use basswood, spruce, whatever for these sticks. But all I have is balsa tonight, so this will have to do. And this will make a perfect knot, perfect notch in the ribs. I have to think how I'm going to notch that trailing edge yet, because I told you that that we're going to notch the trailing edge. So now if you were here and you could feel this, it has a slight lump on it. Well, no big deal. We'll just get the sanding block and sand the lump off, straighten it out, and it did. Perfect. Both sides. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix the edges here, and you just very gently rub it back and forth until it sands deep enough that it should fit. And you do both sides, both ways. You can buy that from the sticky back paper. You can get it Tower Hobbies, the hobby shop, whatever. But Tower Hobbies sells the. I buy a lot of 80, a lot of 180 grit sandpaper. Tower Hobbies should be sponsoring me. Anyway, that's how we did that, and it'll be a perfect fit. Now let's do the spars here. Now this particular wing is calling for 1, 2, 3 spars. That would mean I would need another 2, 4. I need another sheet 1/4 inch. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that or not, but I know at least to get the wing together, I'm going to have at least the spar 3 inches back. I'm having an issue here. Maybe I better glue another piece on the other end in 2 corners. I think that would probably be best. So we're gonna do around the corner for the leading edge, because it didn't want to notch down in there. Let's see here. No problem, Mike. So we go around the corner and glue it down. So now we have a stick with sandpaper that goes like that in an L shape. I wanted to do it in just one side, but it didn't want to do that leading edge because it is two-sided, a V shape. Clean up the edge there, like I showed you before. Now, real gently, we're going to just take this and we're going to sand back and forth until this thing is perfect. Yeah, that works much better. And I'll do a close-up of the cut. And here's the cut. I mean, it's, we're making parts and we're guessing as we go. So you have to kind of adjust, adapt, and overcome at different things along the way. So just because something didn't work in one direction, that doesn't mean you can't change direction and try something different. So now I have this flexible ruler here, and we're going to measure back 2 3/4 from the end. Let's make a mark. That's great. Because we're going to glue the sheeting on the leading edge and then pull it, or glue the sheeting on the top spar and then pull it to the front. Is the video choppy, or is that just me? I mean, it seems like we have a lot of traffic tonight or something going on. This was my grandfather's square. I come from a family of shipbuilders. And I have never seen a little square like this. I mean, you just don't see them. There's some cheap Chinese junk, but this one here is actually Hencho in the USA, which is unbelievable. Part number 21. Patent number, it's got like 12377, so you know it's pretty old. So anyway, we're going to put the square up here. And we're going to notch our ribs. And we want to use the side that had one piece of paper on it. And we're just going to rub this stick right along the square at our mark, back and forth, until it completely makes a notch. I'm going to put another piece of tape on the front. They're kind of moving. So now we'll go back to notching this. Yeah, you could cut each one of these notches out with your saw or whatever, but this is perfect. It'll be just fine. Except I'm kind of pushing it in too far. So we got it started there. Hopefully both cameras can see it, what I'm doing here. You want to sand it until it buries itself, till it's flush with the top of the rib. See, part of building is once you get the pieces together, you want this thing to just go together without any pins or sticking or any extra cutting or anything. You just want it to go together. Snap together like a Lincoln log set. Okay, we got one side done. And as I stated, you use just the side. This was for the leading edge where it goes around the corner. And this side right here was for the spar notches. So now we'll make another cut on the other side. Want to make sure these are straight. I have to straighten up the trailing edge too. And I said 2 3/4, so we're gonna off it by 1/4 and come back to 3, and that's right here. Did everybody get that? It's not a big deal. I get a kick out of these guys that try to make model airplanes such a huge deal. You don't need a kit, you don't need a set of plans, you don't need nothing. Okay, here we go. Let's do the other one. I gotta take a drink of soda. I'm getting thirsty. I don't know why the video is so choppy. Is the video choppy on you guys' end? That's what I want to know. Now I'm going to drill some holes for these rods. But if you don't feel comfortable drilling holes for the rods, or maybe you don't have a rod jig, and I think I should show it how to build it without a jig. You can do it by eye. You can do it with a plate setup. You can pin it. And there's a number of ways to do things. You don't have to have a jig. I think we might put another spar right there and not have any sheeting on the leading edge. I think that's what we're going to do. We'll make it true to form. I'll just have to get some more 1/4 inch, because it's calling for 1, 2, 3, 3 spars on the ribs. So it's calling for 1 behind and 1 in front. I don't think that the 1 behind is really necessary. Well, there you have it. You could get away without putting a another spar in. It's calling for one here and one here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do another spar? Remember, this is for a beginner moving to intermediate. I probably should, because I just know this airplane's going to hit the ground a few times. So I think I will put the other spar at the leading edge. Of course, this is calling for a, I don't know. So I'm just going to take the square. This is approximately 1 inch. At least it has been on all the other squares that I've had. And we're going to come forward 1 inch and put another notch, top and bottom. So I don't know where you guys are on your project, but you should be approximately where I'm at, unless you guys worked on the airplane while I've been trying to get other things going. I really wanted to do that RD1, but it just didn't work out. I think that would have been a good beginner airplane. They wanted me to show how to build it electric, and we could have done it electric, but I have a motor that was donated, and I'm just about positive it was by Rusty, but it's through everybody's donation on Stunt Hangar that I'm able to keep the stream up, keep the website up, and to build, to donate these projects. I just know that the beginner that gets this is going to be thrilled. I think I got to figure out how we're going to do the trailing edge too. Very similar to this, only with a 1 inch wide 16th inch piece. Probably I have a steel ruler just like this, and we'll sand that trailing edge. And I'll probably get to that tonight. Sandpaper's starting to wear out. Very boring, I know. This is not really a if I can get out of this build, I can probably do some better instructional videos, because it'll be on one topic at a time. We're going through every aspect of this build, so I just want to build the airplane in front of everybody and have you guys follow along. Okay, I got that. And now one more time here. I'm not gonna put 3 spars. They have one way back here. I don't see a need for that. However, I do see a need to notch the trailing edge, and I'm pretty sure I got it figured out. And I didn't figure it out until I was standing here doing this. It's just the way my head works. So I got to make sure everybody can see. As I've stated, I have another camera rolling over on my left that'll show the other side footage. I'll try to combine whatever good footage comes from the stream and the camera, and we'll get one good video loaded up, maybe. But as I told one person, for every hour that I produce in video, if I have to upload it and edit it, it takes 3 hours to do. So it's a pain in the ass. It looks like it's a lot choppy. My screen has stopped working. It just died. I don't know if it's poor connection. I'm on Wi-Fi or what with the laptop, but can everybody still see okay? Okay, we have those two cut. Now, if you look here on the trailing edge, I have to recess this trailing edge in order that we can, without cap strips, because I really don't want to waste a bunch of wood doing leading and trailing edge cap strips. However, cap strips is what really makes the wing strong. I need to recess this trailing edge 1/16 on each side. Well, how would you do that? Well, we're going to do it just like I did the spars there. I'll move the tape. So we're going to need something that is metal back and stiff. So what would you use? I think I have another. I think I have another ruler here somewhere. Sorry about the looking for parts. I'll let the stream run a little longer. I don't want to cheat you guys on time for me looking for a part. Here we go. All right, I have another square here. Take the square off. It's a metal ruler. we'll get sticky back paper and get it glued to it. Remember, this is approximately 1 inch wide. Nothing's set in stone. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 inch and a 1/16. It doesn't matter whether it's 1 inch and an 1/8. It doesn't matter, because we just cut the pieces of wood whatever whatever width we need. Okay. Let's see, clean up the edge here and make it straight. Now we're going to measure back the width of this bar, I guess. Make them on it. Now, if somebody has a laser cutter or can plot these ribs and wants to sit down and cut them one at a time, you know, I know there's a lot of smart guys out there that know way more than I do about computers. They'd have this program, zip it out, and all that other stuff. Well, I'm just an old school builder, so there's what we're going to end up with. We're going to end up with a notch in the back. Put your square on there. It's kind of like what I'm doing here is kind of like using a carpenter square. Rub it back and forth. I'm trying to do it so you guys can see what's going on. Let me zoom the camera a little bit, see if that helps. Zoom the camera. Okay, I've zoomed the camera, and hopefully it'll catch up here. But I take the square and I hold it on the rib set so that it's going to be square to the trailing edge. And we're going to have to clean up that edge too. Let's clean that up as well. Because you want everything square. You don't want to mess around with stuff that's crooked. It only takes a second to make everything square. We know the leading edge is square because we already sanded it. We know these are all square because we held that square on it and sanded that. So let's finish the trailing edge by notching it. and just sand down until it's a 1/16 of an inch deep. And that's about what this ruler is a 1/16 of an inch thick. So we're going to sand down until it's flush. Hold it parallel to the bench. There we go. That's flush, that's square, and that's good. Now this line that I drew here is not square, but that's the way it goes. But we know that the square is square. So now we'll do the other side, and we'll be done with these stupid things. Make sure that the whole width is there. It's a little choppy. Are we still doing okay, guys, as far as the video stream goes? I noticed that I've dropped out some people. I will add this to the Excalibur build. We've only got about maybe 6 hours in this airplane, and it, you know, I'm telling you, if I sat down and really built this, it would be in one day. Dust. That's it. We're going to stop right there. And this is our rib set. It's notched at the trailing edge. Let's take that line off so you don't think it's crooked, because it's not. It's notched at the trailing edge, and it's not perfectly because we sanded it perfectly. It's square across the trailing edge. The leading edge is sanded and squared perfectly, and all these notches here are perfect for our spars. I don't want to take them out because we're not going to build a wing tonight. I was just getting the pieces ready. The trailing edges will be sheets of 1/16, 1 inch wide by whatever the length of the wing is, and with a 1/4 inch cap strip on it. So I'm just using my eye now to kind of true things up, make sure that they're all in alignment. You know, we're within just a few thousandths. It's not like we're out a mile. But this is a custom set of ribs. Okay, good. This is a custom set of ribs that, you know, we don't have but an hour in making them. That includes cutting them out, and well, maybe 2 hours now, because I did work on this, but I did work on our other part. Let's take that out and see how that turned out. Oh, it's very heavy. Time management. So now we have our fuselage, and glued together. And I'm gonna put this on the belt sander off camera, and that'll be probably the only thing I do off camera because I don't want to sit and grind on this with a block. I could do this without a belt sander, but if you got the power tools, why waste the elbow grease? So I'll do that off camera. I won't shape this fuselage off camera. I'm just going to true these uh, edges up, and that's because, like I said, I have the power tools. Why would I waste the effort? Now you don't glue your cheek cowl on it until after we get the engine drilled and bolted, and we're going to make a nice, nose ring and everything for this airplane. It's not how it's shown in the plans, but I don't care. I want to turn something over to the next guy, that's worth having. Well, that's it. I can't get the camera to go up. It's on the other side of the bench. We're not going to worry about it. I just thought that I'd finish it off without you guys looking at the floor or whatever. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching this evening's edition of the Excalibur. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like what I'm doing. Be sure, to subscribe. That's the most important thing. Tell your friends to subscribe. I got to have 500 subscribers. I don't know how to explain that. I even tried to buy subscribers, but that don't work. What that's going to do is hurt my channel, so I decided against that. There's a lot. I did a lot of research on YouTube, and I don't want to buy likes, and I don't want to buy subscribers, and I want people to genuinely get something out of these videos. So that's it. We're gonna put our project away. I don't know that I'll do it again tomorrow night on the Control Line Craftsman. Hey, it's not a problem. I do it. It's fun. I like doing it. What I really like is when the guys from Korea go, "Oh, the Sparky, the famous Sparky." That was so cool at Brodax. Got to have a picture with Mr. Control Line. That was funny. But and we don't even speak the same language, but whatever. If I can pass it on, if I can pass the information on, I'm more than happy to. And it doesn't take very long for me to build these. Now this afternoon I ran a short video. Well, it wasn't really short. It was actually long, testing these new cables. And I think what the problem that we're having tonight is net traffic. It's Saturday night. People are home. All the settings are the same, But I thought I'd show you this, what I was working on this afternoon, in case you missed it. I was working on my Thunderbolt. And there's a lot of tinkering and a lot of time that goes into these things. And we're already starting to finish the cockpit area. I made the seat back, and I showed how to quickly finish the seat back, and getting it dusty, and how to, put some rivets on it and just detail it up a little bit. So while we were over here, I did the floor. And anybody had seen my Thunderbolts from '05 and '06 would know that I did the wheel well technique, where it was green inside, and it had the ribbing and such. And I think that I'm going to do something very similar here. We have the pilot. I'm going to do some type of ribbing in there, and for the pilot's bust, or for the bottom half of them, I'm just going to paint it on there. And so you look down in the cockpit, it won't be green, it'll be the brown and the yellow from his Mae West, and maybe continue on with his oxygen hose. And then some, you'll have your throttle, quadrant, and flap settings, and brakes, and the wheel landing gear stuff up here. And it's nothing that has to look 100% scale, but it's something that, something to look at when you look down in there, besides an open hole. And I think it's going to look kind of cool myself. I mean, it's more detailed than my Thunderbolt from '07. So the ones in '07 didn't have near as much detail. Let me zoom in on that, because it'll blow your mind what it's going to look like. You lose a lot of sharpness on the video quality, but that gives you the kind of the idea that we're shooting for with this airplane. It's not just a control line stunt airplane. I'm really shooting for a semi-scale type job, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. There we go. So that's basically what it's going to look like. And I hope that I can make him look good. And trust me, when you see this airplane, it'll be cool. It'll be cool. I just wish this was lighter, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it, so you got to live with it or do without it, whatever. If nothing else, like I say, it has the cool factor. All right, guys, thanks for watching Control Line Craftsman. Join me again. I'll give an announcement when the next class is. And I appreciate it. See ya!